So, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's going to be the biggest single-demand event in North American history, no question. And while we're all going to be glued to the games, there's another high-stakes match happening, and it's being played in hotel lobbies across 3 different countries. So today, we're going to unpack the real price of a room.
Okay, let's just jump right in. The number you're looking at right now, 2,300%? No, that is not a typo. That's the actual price increase for a single hotel room in Mexico City on the night of the opening match. It's an absolutely staggering figure that honestly almost seems made up.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question, right? How on earth does something like this happen? Well, the answer pulls back the curtain on the incredible economic forces that a mega event like the World Cup can unleash.
To get to the bottom of this mystery, we first need to understand the one metric that matters more than anything else for hotels during an event of this size. Let's break down the economics behind that $3,800 hotel room.
You see, it all boils down to this term, average daily rate, or ADR. Now, what's so important to get here is that ADR isn't about how many rooms are full. That's just occupancy. ADR is all about how much you can charge for each room. It's a pure measure of pricing power.
And that right there is the name of the game for 2026. The real story isn't just about filling hotels to 100%. I mean, a lot of these cities have busy summers anyway. The real story is the jaw-dropping prices that hotels can command. When it comes to the World Cup, ADR is absolutely king.
All right, so let's see how this whole ADR is king thing actually looks in the real world. We're going to take a quick trip across all 3 host nations, Mexico, Canada, and the US, because this principle creates some very, very different situations in each market.
First up, Mexico. And get this, that number, over 1,000%, that's the average rate spike we're seeing in Mexico City for that opening match window. It is without a doubt the most aggressive pricing we're seeing anywhere on the continent.
So why? What's going on here? This quote really nails it. The market has what economists call inelastic demand. Basically, the love for football there, especially from local fans, is so deep that they're booking way in advance and they're willing to pay these incredible prices. For them, it's not optional. They just have to be there.
Okay, now let's head north to Canada, where a completely different kind of drama is playing out. In Canada, it's not just about massive demand. It's about a critical, severe shortage of rooms.
And this chart, wow, this chart for Vancouver tells you everything you need to know. The city has just under 42,000 rooms total, hotels and short-term rentals combined, but they are facing a shortfall of 70,000 room nights. When demand outstrips supply by that much, well, prices only have one direction to go, and that is way, way up. In this case, by over 300%.
Now, the U.S. market is a whole different beast. You've basically got 2 kinds of winners emerging. On one side, you have what we're calling compression capitals. Think smaller cities like Kansas City. They have way fewer hotel rooms compared to their giant stadiums, and that creates this incredible squeeze, which leads to the biggest percentage price jumps. But then you have the volume giants, like New York/New Jersey. They have so many rooms they can absorb a lot more people, but they will still command the highest prices in pure dollars for the whole tournament.
Now you might be thinking, has this kind of thing happened before? Oh yeah, this is not a new playbook. So let's take a quick look back at some previous tournaments to see what they can teach us about 2026.
I mean, this timeline is just fascinating. Germany in 2006 basically wrote the book on the rate-driven model. Then you have South Africa in 2010, which was a huge warning about what happens when you build too many hotels. You get this nasty hangover. Brazil in 2014 showed us that cities that aren't hosting can actually lose business. And Russia in 2018, it was just a massive payday, all thanks to ADR. The pattern is crystal clear. The real money comes from price, not just filling rooms.
But it's not all a big party for these host cities. There's this counterintuitive, kind of hidden downside to all this excitement, an economic twist called the Great Crowding Out. So here it is. It's called the displacement effect. And the idea is actually pretty simple. Yeah, the World Cup brings in tens of thousands of new fans, which is great. But at the exact same time, those crazy high prices and all the congestion actively push away the people who would normally be there. You know, the business travelers, the regular tourists. And we are not talking about a small problem here. Just look at this chart. It shows the projected hit to corporate travel, and forecasters are saying we could see a drop of 40 to 60%. I mean, companies are actually planning blackout periods, literally telling their employees to just avoid these host cities for the entire 39-day tournament. All right, so let's pull all these pieces together.
At the end of the day, what's the final score for the hospitality industry here? So, if you remember just 3 things from all this, make it these. Number 1, ADR is king. The big headline is going to be about historic prices, not just full hotels. Number 2, this is not going to be an even playing field. The profits are going to be super concentrated in specific cities, creating some clear winners and some losers. And number 3, displacement is a huge risk. This crowding out effect really makes the final economic picture a lot more complicated.
Which leaves us with this one last big question. When you've got these record-shattering rates on one side, but you're also taking this huge risk of pushing away all your regular business on the other, is hosting the World Cup a guaranteed economic goal for these cities? Or could it actually be a massive own goal?